right, guys, welcome back. I cannot underscore this enough that this is absolutely a major bombshell that Cary Hardy dropped. I know quite often the term bombshell is used a lot, and I use that a lot, but this truly is a bombshell. Now, Cary Hardy was the one that released this video as he had somebody from the inside that was a former worker contact him. I would encourage everybody to watch that video before watching this. Link is down below in the description. And there was a lot of tidbits that was released in about this 20-minute video. A lot of it we already knew. If you were on Pinside or you've read Pinside, you probably know most of this. However, there was a massive bombshell that was dropped. For me, is like the red flag of all red flags. It's not just a red flag. It's a nuclear bomb dropping and exploding red flags everywhere. Let's go ahead and roll a little bit of footage from Cary's video that will tell exactly what I think is the bombshell.
And Nordman left because he could not get an engineer to help him make his game. That is the issue. And I've heard it from Owsler himself that he can't progress on his food truck game because he can't get an engineer. That has been the issue here, guys. And from what I've been told, the engineers that were hired and brought in were very green, like fresh out of college. They had one engineer that was very knowledgeable and experienced, but that person left due to the fact that they weren't getting paid regularly. So that left a lot of the apprentices, if you will, behind to finish working on Raza.
That is a huge deal. And let me explain why this is a huge deal. My wife is actually a professional engineer. And when I heard this, I ended up asking her, what does this mean? Where don't you need certifications or something like that? Because I know you've taken a lot of classes and I know you've had to do plenty of tests. And she explained it to me. And the reason why this is a big deal is because most college graduates that graduate with an engineering degree, they have to take something that's called the EIT, or the Engineer in Training certification. You can fail this and still graduate as an engineer. It's not necessarily required in order to graduate college. However, if you want to progress in your career, you pretty much need this. It's the fundamental test that you need to take. And from there, you actually progress a little bit more, but you need 4 years, underneath a professional engineer in order to even qualify to take the professional engineering certification. That cert, or whatever you want to call it, is under whatever engineering discipline that you are in. So it's vital that you get real world experience. What this means on the surface, if what Cary is saying is true, and if what his sources were telling him were true, and if what Barry Owsler was saying is true, and if what Dennis Nordman is saying is true, we are then facing a potential situation in which there is no professional engineers on staff at a pinball company, in which you have to professionally engineer parts in order to put them on the playfield, in order to develop these concepts, in order for them to just create. And this to me is just a huge deal. When nobody is there to lead, when you're taking people straight out of college, what you're dealing with is somebody that just understands something from a theoretical standpoint. You understand it from a book knowledge standpoint, but there's no real world experience there. Sure, they might have 1 year of experience, but let's face facts. This game, Raza, has been in development for a very long time. And when you don't have that type of real world experience and you're not well versed in something, you are learning on the job. And the time to learn on the job is not when you're about to debut a product for a multi-million-dollar company, or at least a company that's put millions of dollars into a product, especially now when there's pre-order money at stake. What I heard right there is just devastating news. That's more devastating than I personally think than even them not being able to find vendors. Because the fact is, even if you have all the vendors set up, what does it matter if you cannot get the pen to actually work? What does it matter if you don't have the engineers in place to make this become a reality? And that for me is the most frustrating point out of all of this. I want nothing more than to see a Steve Bowden rule set on a pen come out public. I want nothing more than to see that. I want to be able to play it. I want the people that put money up for this to get a game in their hands, in their house, at their business. I would just want something to come out. Just hearing this, it makes me so frustrated for everybody there at that company. And I don't even have skin in the game. I did not put any money forward. I've just played it a few times, more like about 30 or 40 times at the Houston Arcade Expo a couple of years ago. I just want to see the people that have actually worked hard on this game for years at a time now to be able to see the fruits of their labor, to be able to see it come out to the people. But man, stuff like this, it bums me out more than any other piece of news that comes out, whether it's about Robert Mueller himself, whether it's about what's going on with vendors, whether it's going about the pre-order money, whatever it could be. It just completely bums me out that it seems like they just simply do not have the pieces in place to even make this go. All along, I was personally worried about them not having the vendors in place. But just like I said earlier, I'm going to become a broken record. It doesn't matter if you have the vendors and all the raw materials in place if you don't have the right team to make it a reality. So I'm curious to see where this goes. I think we could pretty much all feel it right now where it's going to go though. So I guess leave a comment down below. I don't know if there's anything to really comment about this other than that part of itself is just quite frankly the biggest red flags of all red flags that I've seen so far out of this company out of the past couple of years. I feel for everybody there. I feel for the people that go to work there, that put their blood, sweat, and tears into their careers, into their jobs. I feel for those people. And I have no clue how this saga is going to end, but I know I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm sure there's a bunch of other people keeping an eye on it. And if you're not, that's cool too. But that's all I got. I'll see you guys later.